So just coming up to the end of the week, 19th of April, I anticipated this to be probably the toughest week I've ever had in business. I had to manage all 35 of our clients, client success, as well as the fact that over 60% weren't hitting the revenue goal. We had a lot of angry clients. Client success manager resigned and none of the clients knew, some of which I'd never even spoke to, and I had to get on a call with them and be like, hey guys, by the way, you've been speaking to our client success manager for like 4 months and I'm coming back in. But you know what? Even though it sucked, this week has gone ridiculously quick, and I've got this weird sense of euphoria that even though clients are churning, even though we're noticing, like now I'm on the back end, I'm boots on the ground again in client success. Now I'm noticing all of these tiny holes in our systems, our processes, our SOPs, our onboarding process. Like, I felt extremely overwhelmed and kind of a little bit depressed, but now I've got this weird sense of euphoria in knowing, you know what? I'm a winner. I'm going to soldier on through it, and it's going to allow me to, it's allowed me to identify where the bottleneck and the constraint is, why it's taking so long for clients to go live, why we're having so many technical issues. Like it's made me realize all of these small holes that I couldn't see before. I was just kind of like turning a blind eye and going, you know what, it's okay, client success manager's got it, when in hindsight that's not the case. And I've been taking interviews all week. I've been interviewing some incredible candidates, people that have been boots in the ground, sales experience in my industry, worked with agencies in my industry. Made me realise even more so that when things feel like they're crumbling and things are going to shit, that's when you go all in. Like that is when you know you're on the brink of a breakthrough. Like I already know now, and again going back to lagging indicators, like while we took quite a huge revenue hit and looking at the numbers, honestly, we've stayed at a similar point revenue wise, if not took a little bit of a dip from last year in October, September time. And looking at that made me feel awful. I was like, oh wow, we haven't made any progress. But you know what? I feel like we've made more progress in the last 4 months of 2024, even though the revenue doesn't show it, than any other month. Because I know that the breakthrough is going to come in the next 3, 6, 12 months, however long it takes. All of this hard work, all of this resistance, all of this pain is going to compound on a macro scale into something great. And it's going to allow me to zoom out in a couple of months' time, once we have a new client success manager in place who can handle more clients, once we have all our SOPs dialed in, once we have all our boot camps laid out for all the new hires we're going to make, all the KPIs that they need to hit, performance tracking monthly. Like once we have these things, even though the revenue doesn't show it now, like right now we're sitting at around, I'm comfortably at around 50k MRR, maybe a little bit less now because we churned quite heavily this month due to the situation with the client success manager. But I'm confident that once we have a new client success manager in place, once I've got finished building out, I'm currently in the process of building out a 3-week client success boot camp for the next person we hire for them to go through. All the projections they need to hit, call recordings of launch calls, onboardings, check-in calls, how to deal with clients that want refunds, unhappy clients, how to deal with clients that didn't hit the guarantee, like absolutely everything that they could ever think of. Once that's dialed in the next, I would say the next 2 to 4 months, we've got them trained, they're managing all the clients, or majority. And it's also going to give me the ability, now I'm in client success, to understand where problems and holes were, iron things out, dial in our onboarding process, shorten our time to launch with new clients. So when we bring somebody in, I do not have a doubt that once they're fully trained, we have all of the operations in place to scale to 100k MRR by Q3. Zero doubt in my mind. Q2 is healing, as Q1 was as well. I kind of got a little bit sidetracked. I tried to build an info product in my niche, didn't really work out too well. I know what we need to do. I've course corrected, lesson learned. But I know right now that the work I'm putting in, the boot camps I'm building, the processes, this back end stuff that a lot of people just set aside because they think sales is the be all and end all. I truly believe that sales is the easy piece. Sales come to me in abundance, sales is easy. The main constraint is we need, I don't even know where I'm going with this. The main thing I just want to drive home is that don't think that even though if your revenue's staying the same, don't worry, because that's not the be all and end all. A big part of it as well is the processes, the operations on the back end.